excuse the fact that I'm glowing. It is warm. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the books that I personally bought and then move on to the proof copies that were sent to me. So, not a book, but you must know this. In my branch, Waterstones, where I work, we've started getting in these page tabs. I love to annotate my books and tab, so I saw the 3 different versions that we were carrying at the time, and I bought one of each. So they're Eclectionary by If. This one is The Little Book of Good Vibes, and it folds out, and then those are the tabs. So these are the tabs, and there is 60 tabs, so 10 of each. So that's the Good Vibes. Then I got the Botanical, and then my favourite one is the Fantasy. And I just love that it can fold out and you can note down what tab is for what. I just think it's really cute. Let me look at that dragon. So cute. So they were $4.99 each, and I get half price, so I consider that a bargain. Very excited to use those. So let's start paperbacks. I bought Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher. I am very excited for this. Very cutesy, cozy, romanticy, grumpy sunshine. Very excited, and I love the cover. So that's the first one I bought. Then this was on a table that was curated by my colleague and my friend, and they recommended this one, which is kind of like a Horrible Histories funny kind of historical fantasy. It's called Cursed Under London by Gabby Hutchinson Crouch, and it's basically in an alternative Elizabethan London. We follow a grumpy traveller from the Ming Empire, Fang, who finds out that he is an immortal, and then he meets an annoyingly cheerful and handsome Frenchman who is also immortal, and then they kind of escapades ensue. So it's queer, it's funny, I'm here for it. Then my colleague recommended this one. It's basically it's called Gate to Kagoshima by Poppy Kuroki, blurbed as serious Outlander vibes with a fresh new twist. This is about a young lady who is researching her Japanese ancestors, and she travels from Scotland to Kagoshima, but a typhoon hurls her back in time to 1877 and the dawn of the Satsuma Rebellion, the conflict that ended the samurai. So 100% my cup of tea. Then I picked up this translated work. It is The Wizard's Bakery by Gu Byung Mo. Yeah? We tried. Basically about this bakery in Seoul where all the baked goods have magic. So it's like a madeleine for broken hearts, almond bars to unearth memories, cinnamon cookies for your worst enemies. With this, magic comes at a price. So I am very intrigued for this. This could be a contender for the Coven, my book club. So there's that one. And this one I've been meaning to get to forever. I think I did own a copy many years back, but I don't have it now. And it is Deathless by Catherine M. Valente. This one is Russian folklore, so it is Koshai, the Tsar of Life, and it follows this girl Maya, who is, I believe, basically going to be his bride. So she has to follow him throughout history, throughout wars and whatnot. It's a fierce story of life, death, love and power, old memories, deep myth and dark magic set against the history of Russia in the 20th century. I love historical fantasy, and I love when it kind of invokes the folklore of the country that it's set in. Then I have Love, Sex and Frankenstein by Caroline Leigh. If you know one thing about me, it is that I am obsessed with Frankenstein, and I'm obsessed with Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein. So this follows Mary Shelley in the year 1816, when she starts writing Frankenstein out of a dare from Lord Byron at this villa, because a volcano in Iceland erupted and it made the entire world kind of dark, so they didn't really have a summer and it was raining all the time. So yeah, so very excited for this. Last hardback fiction, words are hard today, is the last in Mark Lawrence's library series, the Library Trilogy. So this is the book that held her heart. I haven't read them because I was waiting for them. I've got them all in hardback, so now I have the full set, because I also have the Girl and the Stars series, which is kind of set in the same world as his Red Sister trilogy, which I love. I prefer his books when he's writing a female character, because I tried his other books. I can't remember the title, but it was just full of rape, and I was not here for that. It was just violence and rape and murder, and it wasn't for me. But when he's writing female characters, spot on. So I'm very excited for this, and it's about an enchanted library. And look at that cover. So excited for that. Now my hardback non-fiction. This was one I was meaning to pick up for a while, but money. So this is How to Kill a Witch, and it's by Claire Mitchell and Zoe Vendatozzi. They are two women who run the Witches of Scotland podcast, and they have written this book, and they've also officially got a tartan out to commemorate the witch trials in Scotland, and the book cover under the dust jacket is the tartan, which is just fantastic. I'm very excited to read this. I am obsessed with witch trials and anything to do with the history of witchcraft, so this is going to be moved up to the top of my list for my witchy non-fiction. I'm sorry if you can hear the wind, but I'm not closing that window. I need air. The other hardback non-fiction I have is called Murderland by Caroline Fraser, and this is crime and bloodlust in the time of serial killers. Unfortunately, it does have Ted Bundy's face on it, which kind of ruins it for me, because what a dick. Basically about the Pacific Northwest in the 1970s and 80s, where a number of serial killers kind of emerged from that area, and she's detailing why that might be, why specifically that area. So I'm very excited about all that. There's stuff about kind of the climate, the politics, the fact that most of their fathers would have been veterans of World War II, and the trauma that they would have carried from that, and then obviously put upon their families. And there's a bridge collapse. I don't know what that has to do with serial killers, but she's chunky. I'm ready to delve into that one. So, proof copy time. I'm just going to delve in because there's quite a few. Most of these I was sent. I'll do the ones I wasn't sent, and I just kind of picked them from the box where proof copies go and people can just pick one to read. So the first one is called The Goldens by Lauren Wilson. Why I kept that bit, I don't know why. They gave us like 6 copies, and every single one came with this saying the sprayed edges won't be on the final, but like, why waste? That's 6 sheets of A4 wasted. I mean, I won't waste it, I'm going to use it for notes. But so this is a teen book, and I don't know if it says join the cult, but it's on both sides. I'm not sure why they would have put it on both sides. I don't know. But this is about influencers, mansions, wild parties that have bonfire rituals and moonlit river baptisms, and then a girl goes missing and it all kind of progresses from there. So there's that one. I'm not sure I'm gonna like that one, but I have to read it to recommend. So the next one is a middle grade. This is The Uninvited by Ross Mackenzie. I do enjoy Ross Mackenzie's work. So this follows 13-year-old Sam, who is a fairy. He's drawn into a secret plan to escape the fairy refugee camp, and he goes on a perilous journey from a circus of nightmares to a murderous museum. His journey is riddled with danger, and he makes friends with a human boy called Ali. But the human boy has a magical power he can't control. Interesting. We have Adam Kay's newest book. Adam Kay, if you don't know, was a doctor in a hospital, and now he is an author. He's written several non-fiction and fiction pieces for children, non-fiction for adults. You know, he's all over the place. But now he's writing crime thriller. This is about a hospital where the people that work there start dying off, and that's all he wrote. It comes out in August, end of August. This one I wasn't sure about, but I picked it up anyway because I liked her previous work, The End of Mr. Y. And this is The Sleepwalkers by Scarlett Thomas. The blurb by James Smythe says it's a darker, funnier White Lotus. I haven't seen The White Lotus. I'm not interested in watching The White Lotus. But this one sounds like it could be a little bit crimey-wimey. There's 2 people who check into an exclusive hotel on a Greek island for their honeymoon. And the woman who is in charge of the hotel tells them of the story of the Sleepwalkers, which is a couple who stayed at the hotel the year before and drowned in an accident, and it feels like the entire island is obsessed with the Sleepwalkers, which at first seems like a fun tale to tell before bed. How is someone's death fun to tell? Quickly evolves into a living nightmare. We'll see. So now the ones that I asked for, didn't think they would all come in at once. I have The Women Are Not Fine by Hope Rees, and it is a true crime about the women of Negriv in Hungary who started killing off the men when they pissed them off. It's short, it's sweet. I know some of the story, but this will be a very interesting kind of dive into it. That comes out in July the 10th. I have The Enemy's Daughter by Melissa Poet. I think you can tell does what it says on the tin. This is a YA? A dystopian retelling of the legend of Tristan and Isolde. It's been 37 years since the Republic was destroyed. Now the 5 clans and the King's Land fight for control. Isadora, daughter of the clan's leader, risks her life on the battlefield to help injured clan soldiers, but when she stops an attack from Tristan, a King's Land assassin, his soldiers shoot her with a poisoned arrow. As Isadora lies dying, Tristan does the unimaginable. He offers to save her life using a rare magic. Yet in choosing to live, Isadora is unknowingly bound to the mysterious Tristan, a connection that could allow him to access her emotions, her memories, and the very information he needs to destroy the clans. That's cute. 14th of August. We have Hawthorne by Elaine Thompson, which is a Scottish ghost story. This is set in 1871 in Caithness. The Ordnance Survey is charting Scotland's most remote northeasterly county, a bleak landscape of endless moorland and lonely crofts. When a strange vision leaves cartographer Robert Sutherland out onto the moor one night, an accident leaves him inches from death. He is taken to Leask House, Leask. Leask? I'm going Leask. To recuperate under the care of Mrs. Sinclair and her beautiful daughter Isabel. At first, Robert thinks the dreadful visions that plague him at Leask House are the result of the laudanum he has been prescribed, but as events take ever stranger and more terrifying turns, Robert begins to wonder whether his presence at Leask House is really a coincidence at all. Someone or something has summoned him here, and they don't intend for him to leave. It's a very nice proof copy, very shiny. And on the back it's got a quote from the book. Very cute. I love a creepy story, and this comes out in September. Another creepy story is The Foreshore by Samantha York. I asked for this because it gives off witch vibes. It's so Eileen Owen. Hello, influencer time. I don't know how to say that. Eileen Owen. It's a tiny scrap of land which is stranded amidst miles of fierce ocean where the scant population barely clings to a centuries-old way of life. It is here that Flora McKinnon, an ageing islander, is brought news of her youngest child's death, whilst tensions are riled by the arrival of a new Reverend Thomas Murray. Murray has a mission to weed out religious dissent and purge the island in the name of progress. When a strange young woman is found washed up on the foreshore, illness and famine start to blight the island, stirring whispers of witchcraft. Despite their differences, Flora and Murray unite in an uneasy attempt to solve the mystery of the girl's identity, which soon becomes an all-consuming obsession. With their own deep-buried skeletons, will the island's dark secrets make or break them both? This comes out in August. So this one I am very excited to get to because I think this is going to sell very well in my shop. This is Of Flame and Fury by Michaela Bridge, and it is basically Fourth Wing meets Fast and Furious, but instead of dragons we're riding phoenixes, and that is all you need to know. It's going to be a good time. Deadly phoenixes, edge of your seat action, and a smouldering enemies to lovers romance. Look at the shiny. Last but not least is Amber Hamilton's Seven Deadly Thorns. And the proof copy is one that I can colour in, which I'm probably going to do. And this one is An Enemies to Lovers Romantasy. Viola Sinclair has hidden her shadow magic her whole life. Discovery means certain death, for in the kingdom of Aragoa, dark magic is forbidden. When the queen finds out Viola's secret, she sends the royal assassin to kill her. He is given a cursed tattoo. Shut up. 7 thorns on his arm for the 7 days he has to complete his deadly task. If he fails, he will be the one to die. The assassin is Rose Clark. Entitled Prince, arrogant fellow student at Vanderburg Academy, and Viola's mortal enemy. The chance to strike Viola down is at Rose? It's R-O-Z-E. Rose? His name is Rose? Roz. We're gonna call him Rose. At Rose's fingertips. But he needs something from Viola, and he's willing to spare her life and fake their engagement to get it. Forced to work a lot is going on here. Forced to work together, Viola and Rose uncover terrible secrets, sinister threats, and an irresistible attraction. Well, how's he going to survive the well, that's the point. You're going to read it. This comes out at some point. October. So those are all my books. I've got a lot of reading to do. Yikes.